So a look at the Oris roof rack designed for the Merc 123 wagon. This is my mum's actual wagon back in 1981 when Dad picked it up as a tourist in Stuttgart and drove it around with Mum. You can see the Oris rack. Now I'm restoring my car and a family friend rang up several months into my project. They're clearing their garage and asked if I wanted this old roof rack. And my eyes and ears perked up as they had a 300 TD when Mum had the 280. And so this is the rack that had been sitting in their garage for 25 years since they got rid of the wagon. Interestingly, it sort of had a polished aluminium finish. It was pitted. The roof securing brackets were gone. But overall, it was pretty much straight, just surface rust. So I got very excited about this for my restoration. This is the actual brochure Dad had still remaining from when he bought the car, because Dad ticked a lot of boxes. He had the roof rack and the boxes, and you can see the Oris rack at the bottom picture there with Dad's handwriting all over it. This is after I've powder coated the same rack you had just seen, and I've had it done the flat grey, which is actually seems to be the colour in the majority of original pictures. So it's not silver like the, or chrome I should say, like the factory roof bars, but it's a flat grey. Now, my wagon was missing the caps on the end, so I just went to the local rubber shop, and they had these caps, which I think are for outdoor furniture. I've drilled out each side of it, and there we go. They fit in really nicely and actually look pretty smart now. So I was missing a couple of other things, including the securing lugs at the bottom of the rack. And I've got the original instructions from the roof rack that Dad kept. So you can see a very rough engineering schematic here of what the securing plates look like. And I'm going to fabricate something when I eventually finish my wagon and come up with something like this. So this is now the powder coated roof rack after it's been sandblasted as well. It's come up beautifully. It's just temporarily sitting on this yellow station wagon, which is actually a donor wagon for a black interior. The rack bars are pretty similar in their spacing, but the curvature of the front and rear parts of the rack are actually slightly different in that it's not a symmetrical rack front to back. So I'm just running over, just show you here. You can see the color difference. It doesn't actually sit flush on the back yet. I'm not quite sure where the problem lies. So I don't think it's in the rack. It could be in my roof bars of this donor wagon, or maybe it's meant to be like that and it gets ratcheted down. But it's looking pretty smart now. I'm just covering it up until I get around to the body work on my wagon, which you might have seen in another frame. So just from the other side, everything's looking pretty flash, and I'm very happy with this roof rack, which was actually given to me, knowing the scarcity of these things. I'm restoring the wagon to look like Mum's old silver one, although admittedly I don't know where Mum's silver wagon is. Dad sold it in 1990 or something, I think, when she got a 124 wagon. So other roof options, these are the roof bars which fit on your factory roof mounted bars. I've bought a set of these as well. You can put them left to right side just to put a windsurfer or whatever you want over the top of them. And these are our original Oris roof boxes. Dad's had these in the shed for 30 years or something. They looked pretty terrible. I've got another video on these. And so I've actually had these refinished now. I've had them cut back, painted, and new black strapping put on them. And you can see in this Astral Silver, they look pretty slick. I don't think I'll ever use these things, but they do look pretty awesome now. And they fit on the Windrush bars, which I've also got with the locking keys. So that's the options I've got.